You hear it before almost every NFL draft. There's generational talent this time. They've said it before about Peyton Manning, about Andrew Luck, about Trevor Lawrence, and now it's Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is the most talked about college football player right now, and for good reason. All signs point to him being drafted number 1 overall, and if not first, then second. He's already being compared to great quarterbacks like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Aaron Rodgers. But do these claims hold any juice? All things being considered, will he really be an NFL legend? This is The Gridiron. You only have to watch a minute of Caleb Williams' film to understand why GMs across the NFL are excited about this young prospect. His game is truly unique. Football teams want great college players who can translate well into the pros. Caleb Williams' game is different from other college players. For better or worse, he is Mr. Off-Platform. He's usually running out of the pocket, escaping would-be tacklers, and throwing darts to his receivers at any and every arm angle imaginable. But some people are skeptical he'll be able to get away with these moves at the pro level. Some people feel he lacks the ability to stay in the pocket and run an offense. His offensive line in college was not known for their great blocking ability, so maybe this forced him to rely on his feet. Either way, this will be something he will have to improve in the pros. With better blocking, he must be able to stay in the pocket to make well-timed plays. On the other side, people are already comparing Caleb Williams to NFL greats. And when names of successful professional quarterbacks get mentioned in the same breath as him, Caleb stands out even more. People are throwing around names like Lamar Jackson, the next Josh Allen, or maybe there's some better comparisons out there. Some people have made the comparison of Caleb Williams to Kyler Murray. If you watch their games, you definitely see the similarities. Caleb has that escapability just like Kyler. He's extremely tough to bring down in the backfield, and even as he runs in all directions, he can still launch the ball to his targets. Caleb is fast, but not as fast as Kyler. Kyler ran a 4.38 40-yard dash. Caleb's unofficial time put him somewhere between 4.57 and 4.6, which is quick for a quarterback, but it isn't Kyler quick. However, if you could get that Kyler Murray playing style in Caleb's larger 6'1 frame, that would be a huge advantage. The two are both Heisman winners. Kyler won it in 2018 with 4,361 yards passing on a 69% completion percentage with 42 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Caleb won it in 2022 with 4,537 yards passing on a 67% completion percentage with 42 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Very similar numbers in college. Both were able to lead their teams to success, but many say Caleb is an even better leader for his USC team. So maybe there's a better comparison for Caleb Williams? Another name that gets thrown out there is Patrick Mahomes. And that's why GMs are so excited about Caleb Williams. Obviously, Caleb hasn't even played one down of NFL football, but the style of play is there. Mahomes is the best in the league right now, so who wouldn't want a quarterback that's at least somewhat comparable? In college, Mahomes was listed at 6'3 and 230 pounds. Caleb was listed at 6'1 and 218 pounds. Mahomes has got slightly more height and size. It isn't a perfect comparison, but it's closer, and teams love this because they want their quarterback to be able to withstand the rigors of the NFL. Much has been said about another quarterback prospect, Jayden Daniels, and his slender 185-pound frame on his 6'3 body. Scouts favor the body type of Caleb Williams at quarterback, but many admit they wish he was an inch or two taller. Still, the likeness between Patrick Mahomes and Caleb Williams is there. Mahomes has become well known for his off-schedule plays, whipping his arm around at all sorts of angles and making precision passes. This is what scouts are seeing from Caleb as well. The two have had some comparable seasons in college. Caleb's best year, as a reminder, was over 4,500 yards passing with 42 touchdowns and 5 picks. Mahomes' best year was over 5,000 yards passing with 41 touchdowns and 10 picks. Very similar numbers, with half of the interceptions for Caleb. If the similarities between Caleb and Mahomes are any indicator of how his game will translate to the pros, then he has a chance to be one of the greats. But many out there say Mahomes isn't the perfect comparison. And also, he's the best quarterback in the game right now, so that might be too much. No, many believe there is a more realistic comparison out there. Many scouts believe that the best comparison for Caleb Williams is one of the original sidearm slingers, Aaron Rodgers. Before Mahomes was escaping pockets and throwing deep passes with all types of arm angles, Aaron Rodgers was doing it in Green Bay. When you look at the 3 years of Caleb's college career, he takes care of the ball. Year to year, he threw 21 touchdowns, 42 touchdowns, 30 touchdowns. But what people love just as much are his interception numbers. 4 interceptions, 5 interceptions, 5 interceptions. That's it. That has been Aaron Rodgers' MO throughout his career. In addition to the spectacular plays that wow you, it was his ability to take care of the ball and limit turnovers. In Rodgers' entire NFL career, he's thrown 475 touchdowns and only 105 interceptions, nearly a 5-to-1 ratio. Caleb's last 2 years in college were basically an 8-to-1 ratio and a 6-to-1 ratio in terms of TDs to picks. Caleb's never thrown double-digit interceptions in a college season. Rodgers has only thrown double-digit interceptions in an NFL season 3 times. That's it. So they're both inventive with the ways they escape danger and get the ball to their receivers. They're both careful with the ball, and the size is more comparable too. Rodgers at 6'2" and 223 pounds is quite close to Caleb's height and weight. With his size and style of play, Rodgers has shown he can be one of the best quarterbacks in the league for decades. That's what Caleb's eventual team will be banking on. But most of the time, a quarterback's career is usually decided by the team that selects him. Will that team be ready to take him on? Will he get the support a rookie needs in this league? It's all about personnel in the NFL. Going to an organization with the wrong directives and people will ruin a career before it even has a chance. You don't have to look any further than the 2023 season. Bryce Young goes number 1 overall to Carolina, and C.J. Stroud goes number 2 overall to Houston. Now, there were some people who preferred C.J. Stroud over Bryce Young to begin with. They liked his bigger build, 6'3" and 218 pounds, over Young's shorter size, 5'10" and 204 pounds. But in the end, many believed both were amazing prospects, regardless of who went number 1 overall. Young was expected to go first, and he did. And no one thought Carolina or Houston would be great destinations, but it became apparent that the Texans had a much better roster and a better coach in DeMeco Ryans. We all saw how C.J. Stroud's career has gotten off to an amazing start. He was 9-6 in 15 games, threw for 4,108 yards on a 64% completion percentage, with 23 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions. His Texans made the playoffs. Contrarily, Young's Panthers definitely didn't make the playoffs. He went 2-14 in 16 games, 2,877 passing yards on a 60% completion percentage, with 11 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. So going number 1 may not be all it's cracked up to be, because the team drafting number 1 is usually the worst team, and having a lack of support tends to ruin a QB's career prospects pretty fast. Not the case in the 2024 draft. The Bears got the number 1 pick from the Carolina Panthers as part of a larger trade package. The Bears actually went 7-10 and showed vast improvements from the prior year. DJ Moore was an excellent receiver, and part of that same trade deal they got from Carolina. Cole Kmet was a fantastic tight end. They've also added Keenan Allen and DeAndre Swift in the offseason. This is the type of team a rookie quarterback would want to be starting for. And this type of team usually doesn't have a top 5 pick, let alone the first pick in the draft. The Bears could be a fantastic destination for Caleb Williams. Then again, what if the Bears decide against picking him? Yes, Caleb Williams' shorter height could be seen as a challenge too high to overcome. Williams at 6'1" is shorter than Jayden Daniels at 6'3", and though Caleb Williams was the Heisman winner of 2022, Jayden Daniels was the more recent Heisman winner of 2023. Caleb did see a drop in production too, down almost 1,000 yards and down 12 touchdowns from the previous year. Jayden Daniels saw improvements from 2022 to 2023. And many have said that while Caleb's off-schedule plays are fun to watch, there is a concern that there might be too many of them. There are doubts that he won't be as accurate when he stays in the pocket. And Jayden Daniels is regarded as the best pocket passer and most accurate passer in this draft. So will the Bears really pick Caleb? Or is there a chance they pick Jayden Daniels and Caleb drops to number 2, where Washington could scoop him up? How would Washington be for Caleb Williams? They were 4-13 in 2023. They have the 2nd pick in the draft for a reason. They have Terry McLaurin at wide receiver. He's been productive throughout his career, and the Commanders picked up Austin Eckler as well. The roster isn't bad, but the team went through much turmoil last year, and Coach Ron Rivera was unable to lead the team to many victories. He was fired in January, opening the door for a new coach, perhaps to go with their new quarterback. Dan Quinn left Dallas to become the head coach of Washington, and the offensive coordinator Caleb would be working with there is none other than Cliff Kingsbury. That's right, the same person who worked with him at USC. Is there a connection there that could be beneficial? Still, it looks like the Bears are the most likely destination for Caleb Williams, and also the better place to go as a rookie quarterback. Caleb Williams has been compared to Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers a lot. The Bears had to spend 2 decades facing off against Aaron Rodgers, and they also passed on Mahomes in the draft. A lot of people in Chicago hope they don't let this opportunity slip through their fingers. But like every draft, the QB pick is rarely a sure thing.